Hello everybody and welcome back to Magna Carta 2. In the last video we finally made it to the Sentinel Laboratory, and on our way to find Zephy we've started doing a couple of the side quests in the area. And now it's time to speak to the prisoners that are locked behind this door here.
Elgar? Please don't kill me. I don't want to die yet.
What's with you? Why would he want to kill you?
But Elgar is...
You know about Elgar, then?
What are you talking about? Didn't you come here on orders from Schuenzeit to execute me?
Well, I am Elgar, sort of. But I don't have anything to do with Schuenzeit.
His name is Juto. He probably isn't the same person as the Elgar you know.
What? You mean... you're first Elgar?
First?
Now that he mentions it, Schuenzeit did call you first, Juto.
But I heard first had been disposed of. You're alive?
Disposed of, huh? I lost my memory. It's starting to come back to me now, but only in fragments.
Oh, so that's what happened. All of us were pretty sure that you had died.
Who are you?
I guess you haven't remembered me just yet.
No.
My name is Nix. I'm a researcher here in the Sentinel Laboratory. Partway through, I refused to continue the research, and I've been under arrest ever since.
You refused to continue development of the Sentinels?
That technology must not be allowed to exist in this world. It's pathetic for a man like me to say that, when I participated in the research for money.
I see. So you no longer work for the Northern Forces, then? The truth is, we are with the Southern Forces.
The Southern Forces? What are the Southern Forces doing here?
We believe that the Princess of Landsheim was kidnapped and brought to this lab. We have come here in order to try and save her. Do you know anything about the princess?
Maybe.
Do you know something?
When I was being dragged away, I saw an extraordinarily beautiful woman being taken away by soldiers. At first, I thought I must have been mistaken, but now that you mention it, that must have been the princess.
Which way were they headed?
Judging from the direction, I'd say they were going to the central laboratory on the second underground level.
Central Laboratory. As I recall, I don't think you can get there without activating some kind of device.
Yes, that's right. So you remember. To get to the central laboratory, you use the warp device. But you can't use the warp device unless you first activate the electrical generator that's in the lab. Don't worry, I know how to work it. I'll help you.
Nix, thank you. Let's hurry.
So we have someone on our side who is on the inside, so that's going to be really quite useful. Before we continue on, we're going to speak to the city man, who had given us the objective to open up the door and let them out. So make sure you do that before leaving, because you get a couple of really good rewards from it. And you could also speak to Nix for another quest, this one being storyline related. Our current location is level 1 of the laboratory. The manufacture of new Sentinels has decreased lately, so there aren't as many personnel here. Level 1 is split into 4 labs, and in the back of number 4 there's a warp device leading downstairs. To use the warp device, we have to activate the power generator in lab 4. For safety reasons, the generator is designed to be activated by a special key. I used to have one too, but I put it in my safe before I was taken here. So in order to activate the device, we have to go and retrieve the key from Nyx's safe in lab number 2. There's also a pillar here that you could use to save, which I very much recommend doing, because the save points are very far and in between. And that save point is also very convenient because you can basically go in the room and come back out and farm as many soldiers as you want. If you feel as if you're a little bit unprepared or you just want to do a little bit of grinding before continuing on. We have pretty much explored the area around Laboratory 1, so what we're going to do is go towards Laboratory number 2. We're going to explore the pods like we did in this region before actually going into the laboratory itself. And that's pretty much how this area is going to go. We're just going to comb through, making sure that we're nice and thorough and not leaving anything behind. And then the laboratories are generally where storyline things happen, or where all of the important little juicy bits are hidden. And Nyx will also come with us. He has a staff, so he's gonna be a long-ranged attacker. He can't die or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about his HP. And again, just like with the other companions that sort of tag along, I really don't know how useful he is in terms of battle, but in terms of story, he's incredibly important because he has all sorts of information about the laboratory, the Sentinels, and especially about Judo. He seems to really know a lot about him and about Algar, so he's definitely a very useful character in terms of information. Alright, so I guess I'll try looking around and seeing if I can get into any of these pods first. I may have to go to the laboratory first, but we'll take a look around. That teleporter there isn't something that we can use yet, because we need to find the key and activate the power for the teleporter first. So just keep that location in mind. In this area here, let's take care of these soldiers. I do believe that this one just has soldiers. I don't think it has any treasures or anything, but it's definitely worth taking a look just in case. I don't want to overlook anything. It doesn't look like there's anything in here, except for more people slash monsters slash sentinels. I'm gonna skip these enemies because I'm already tired of fighting all these soldiers, and I'll take a look in this pod to see if I can get in here. And in this one, it looks relatively clear, which is nice. There's just a treasure chest waiting for us. Except for that, this is a booby-trapped treasure chest, unfortunately. And this is actually the valuable treasures that were mentioned to us by Belfort in the last video. After saving his wife, he had told us that the Northern forces had smuggled something in that was valuable. And if we could find it, it would probably help us, so this is good news because we're going to get some treasures and we're also going to finish up a side quest. You get a con saving common, a stamina level 4 common as well, and then you also get 2,500 experience for finishing up that quest. So that's really not a bad haul. We'll have to go back and check that other pod though because it is locked. I do have a feeling that there's probably something in there. We may need to grab Nyx's key though first, so let's head up to the laboratory and do that. And in this room we have 3 enemies of the same type. They're actually unique. We haven't seen these before. And they're only in this room of the laboratory for whatever reason. I guess maybe they've been put here to protect Nyx's stuff? I'm not really sure. They're a little bit out of place. But we'll take them down. Despite their size, they're really nothing to worry about. We've defeated enemies like this in the past before, but because we've defeated so many of them, they're not really a threat to us anymore. It's better than fighting soldiers as far as I'm concerned. So once they've been killed, you can go into Nyx's storage box and you can pick up his key. And then we can speak to Nick again. And he'll give us our next objective. We can now go to the central laboratory if we activate the power generator in lab number 4. There's bound to be lots of northern forces in lab number 4 because of the device. Please be careful. Alright, so lab number 4 is going to be our next stop. I am curious to see if that one pod will open now that I have his key though. It was labeled control room. It seems pretty important. But it remains locked. I'm not going to worry too much about that right now. I guess what I'll do, since we're pretty much finished in this area, is I should move on to lab 3. But I think what I'll do is I'm going to go back and save at the pillar before moving on. We're about halfway through the laboratory now, so we should probably only need another video or so in the area before we can actually use that warp point and get to where we want to go. But the lab is full of all sorts of important things and cutscenes and whatnot, and I really don't want to make another 30-minute video like I had done a couple videos ago. So I'm going to take a little break, I'm going to save, and in the next video I will most likely meet you guys near Laboratory 3, just so that from that point we can move on, explore the area, and then move on towards Laboratory number 4. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.